Welcome back to NIMBY Rails. It is 1:54 in the morning and I'm very glad that that's only the case in the save game and not in real life. And even at night time we have buses running. In this case it's Nightline 3, the line that I added in the last episode to support the region, and I already spoiled a bit. To support the region when I disable the station names. And I go over to the line overview. We have, no, that's stations, lines. We have the Nightline 3 that is now doing its service, and for those who didn't saw the schedule for it, it doesn't have its own schedule. I have to search it where I put it again. Yeah, here. There's one bus of line 44 that got the beautiful Nightline 3 service. So you can see it here. The other boost line is just the booster during the day, and then we have a second booster line. So actually it's the third booster line that is then also taking care of the night service. I decided to put this bus in to have the biggest gap possible between the first booster service and the very last Nightline service. So you can see it here between 5 and 6:43. There is no action where we need the bus, so we can send it back to the depot. And for that I created a depot on time. So down here, this beautiful depot, it's a parking lot in real life. I just sent the buses in there to black hole them. That's not the best solution, and for that, what I already spoiled is that I have created a bit of the network, a bit more of the network, because yeah, down here, this area is the depot, and that's horribly far away from where I actually need it. Not too far away, but there has to be a little bit of a better solution to get the buses in and out of the depot. So before I talk too much, let's get into the depot. And the very first step is to create the link on the outside, or the circle on the outside. I will once again double these roads, or do I? No, I don't need to double. Yeah, no, I do. Okay, especially down here where we are close to the service, the workshop, I will double them as well. And also make it in the normal setup of 5 meter stops segments that I normally do for stations, because maybe I've already guessed it, I can then take this element down here, for example, and what I can now do is name it the VAG depot. VAG is for the bus operator from the Nuremberg city center, if I'm correct. I do have to do some research on that, but that's the depot that's closest by that I did find. Yeah, in the station editor, I just removed the population radius, I removed the platform passenger capacity, and I also make the label name only to have a difference between all these city station names. I forgot what I wanted to say, and also those I want to change them. Let me just go into the options to change exactly that. I want them name and packs, not full, because full you have this marker on top which city they are in. We already solved that with the name, so I will have to change every single one to name and packs only to remove that name on the top. And depots get the little information, as little information in that case as possible. So when I expand it straight front, no, it doesn't look that good. So what I will do in this case is make it single segment, so only one wide in this case. Then down here, I mean over here I could do a bit more of the parking spots on the outside road, so that they are basically like parked in front of an old fence or something like that. All of course pure imagination. Maybe I have to build that old fence to get my point across, but yeah, that's what I will do now. Oh my god, yes. It was a bit not so intelligent. Move this one all down a little bit. Then I can do this, and it's still a bit too long for my liking. You know, it's down to 20 meters. Then maybe, just maybe, I can get another one in up here. I'm already very fixated to get as many bus stops in as possible. Yes, if I add that, we have like 2 segments in between. And then I push this one out a little bit further. We are also at 20 meters. I don't think that I will actually use any buses that are longer than 20 meters. So it should be fine. I, of course, could also do it in a way that I don't put switches in between the stops. That's what I would do next. Like this, for example. Like that, for example. And then like this and like that. And then also down here, like this. I could put in another one here. No, I don't take care of that. And then I can already put a few numbers in. And then that's what I will do with the entire roads to set them up. The basic structure is done for the depot. I say the depot, yeah, the basic structure, because this is basically just the roads we will be using to get around inside the depot. And now there are 2 sections. The right section, so we have these 2 like small holes there in the middle. They will be basically filled up with parking possibilities. And then in this big thing down here, the big square, that's where the repair facility is at. And I, of course, also want to build that. So what I will do, first of all, is mark out a rough area. I would say I make it like 20 meters wide. And then, yeah, like that. Maybe move it a bit like this, a bit like that. And then put it in like this. And then just, oh no, that's up there. And then do this. Make it offset by 10. Then do this. Make it offset by 15. Do I have to offset it by 20 to make it 5? Yes. I have to offset it by 20 to make it 5. And like this, like this. Like that. Like that, and like that. Oh my god, yes, I can just delete it and it works. So, how many lanes do I feel like I could fit in here? I don't want to do like 1 lane every... Oh, that was stupid. That was stupid. I don't want to put like... That was even more stupid. What am I doing? I'm not concentrated. So let me remove all of it. Then again, we go in, set it to 5 meters. We go in, we set it to 10 meters. Then 15, 20. At this point, it's easier to do this. Set it to 25. Then set it to 30. And then set it to 35. And then set it to, no, not like that, like that. Set it to 40. And then I would say we have some space to the left. We have some space to the right for actual like building capacity. So the next thing is to put in the parking spots. Over here, what I would then just do is copy this, paste it in here like that, because that's the 20 meter thing that I basically need for measuring. And then when I throw it in like that, that works. And then I can, because it's just parking close to each other, throw another one in. And another one. And another one. And then like this, I will take care of the entire parking space up here. I said like this, I would just do the entire parking lot. Where I had the big gaps in here, I removed the gaps. I pushed it closer together. It's a lot of nodes in a very small area. We still have small gaps when you zoom out. When you zoom in, those small gaps are gone. Yep, that's the depot. We have 46 parking possibilities within the depot itself, and we have 18 parking spots in the depot, in the workshop. What am I talking here? Maybe in my brain is already 3 AM, like in game. So let's build it. Move the blueprints into reality. Only reality of the game, and then looks like this. What I will now do is remove the platform names, and we do have a few lines here and there, but that's no reason to be sad, because you won't see them anyway down the line. Because it's time to actually build a roof above it. And for that, what I need is some solid color. Yeah, scrolling through all the detailing. There we go, solid color. What I want is, I have decided to have like a roof around the thing. Yeah, that's very informative for you. I want to roof all these parking spots, so I will build an edge for that. It is not supposed to be very thick, it is just supposed to be working. That's what I wanted to say. So we put it on height 1 and over tracks. No, actually we put it on +1 and roof, because I already have a feeling what I will be doing with it. And then especially for the easy area down here, that's just paralleling it to the road. I am not sure if this is supposed to work up here as well. It could, maybe. So let me do it like that, like move this one in like this. And I can only move it in smaller pieces, so what I go to is move it by the numbers. No, I don't want to have it at 40, I want to have it at 40.5, that's still a bit too far. Yeah, that looks good, okay. And then find the second split, that's the front. And then take the longer one, remove it. And then we have a small edge there. 44 maybe. And then it's nearly invisible. I say nearly invisible, I just hope that it works. And then over here, relatively interesting, I need to put it onto both sides from the design that I want. And it's impossible to find the right spot with all these markers. Yeah, that's the wrong one, for example. There we go with 11 meters. Need to find it again and mirror it on the other side, and then I can do the connection up here, like that, then I move this one out, I move this one back. That already looks good for the edge of the roof. Then what I will do, even though that's a road that is impossible to use for the traffic, I will put in a curve like that. It isn't used by traffic, but it will be used by me to put in the edge of the roof. Yeah, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. And then I move this one back. Oh my god, it actually works way, way better than I thought. That is already incredible. And then up here, just move it back in. And then this one may be a bit challenging. Yeah, no, it works. So you can see this is the outlining of the roof. And this is the outlining of the roof done. I just couldn't bother recording all of it because, oh my god, it's horrible. So next step is to make sure that the outsides look good. For this I will take a road, because we need the asphalt colors. I will disable the merging with other roads. Then I will just pull it along the sides, like here for example. And then when I build it, you can see it looks like there's only road and you can't see anything else. Here it will be a bit tricky. Okay, I actually don't need to care about it being perfectly on the line. Even if it's underneath the line, it's absolutely fine. Then I just throw it in there. Build this, so the outer part here is also done. And then the only thing I need to take care of is this here. So again, I will just do it like this, and then also do it like this. Oh, and the middle part, of course, also needs to be built. And then out there. And the same, of course, also for this one. Yeah, I just make it quick and dirty. Like that, and then we also need one here. Like that. And with that, the outline of the roof is basically done. We now only have the inline. And for that, I will need to use something that looks a bit like this weird dirt, I would say, that you always find on very flat roofs. Yeah, that's not it. It's also not a real texture. There we have earth brown. This one looks a bit better, higher in detail. Do we have something else? We have filler earth reddish that looks more white. Yeah, bricks is also not the solution. If I want to pretend that it's a greenish roof, but not yet with all the plants on it. Also not trolleys, not cars. Yeah, trash maybe later? No. That's tunnels. And we have only standard grass. Those bushes I could maybe use. The grounds. Could I use the ground scatter on top of this? I could, yeah. Also, I could use the weeds, but they are maybe a bit big. Yeah, okay, but let's use this color. Now, the only part that's difficult is to get it done around the outlines. So what I need is I need to have it at +1 and I need to have it under tracks so that it's the lowest possible height limit that I could do. Yeah. Okay, that will get very, very messy very, very fast. Oh, it's the one up there. 8 meters up there, and then these 5 meter part like that. I will also only do a bit on the other side so that you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, oh my god, the curve will look horrible. And then we do need a bit of this. And then we also need to find the long one here. We need a bit of this. And then when I zoom out, no one will see it. Nice. Then I just take this one, for example, and pull it all the way over there. I will copy in another one and then also just put it over there. Yeah, under tracks and +1. And I need it from 0 to 1. And we will bury all the signals underneath it. Check there's no gap between the two colors. There is also no gap between the decoration, because that sometimes does happen. And then, yeah, just throwing it in like this. Copying it on the other side. Yeah, that's not one of those. That is one of those 11 meters. There we go, also for the other side. Then there we have one with 4 meters I can use, and I only need to find the one in the middle. There we go. Put it in there. Take another one, put it also in there. And then I will build it once again. So now this looks like just a flat roof. And now comes the beautiful part. If I find the right decoration. That's, by the way, the horrible part of decorating. Scrolling through this long list of things that may be right, but you're not sure. So for example, what I'm right now looking for is solar arrays for the roof. Yeah, that's stairs, for example. A, B, C, D, E. So, oh, there's solar panels. And then what I wanted to do is -2 and 2. Is that maybe already a bit big? And put it on like that. And then like that. In real life, the solar arrays, I believe, are a bit different. Oh my god, I perfectly chose the wrong one. That is actually impressive to do. Because if I move it over by 1, I get to put in one more. So let me do it like that. And then, for example, here I could put in one more there. And then one more there. So we have 2 more in. And then it already looks a bit more like something you want to look at. Now, did I put them onto the right place? Most likely, yes, +1 and roof. Okay, they're on the right place. And now I want to go in and search. I believe it was very far down. There we go, ground scatter. I need the one that repeats itself, and it's not just one texture. And then, for example, put it in there as overtracks. And just fill in the area between the solar arrays. Due to the way they are set up, the green is basically underneath the solar arrays. So even if I build areas where I cover the solar arrays with the green, it will automatically switch to being below of it. The only thing that's a bit annoying now is setting up the border areas. I mean, I don't need to catch like everything, which is the good part of it. But I do want to catch like most of it to give it like this bit more fresh green roof design. If you can already see where I am heading towards with all of this decoration. So yeah, just one more corner. I of course make me a bit smaller. Putting it in like there one, and we put in there one. And then what I want to do is, we had very small bushes. Yeah, we have a bush prop, but it's not repeat. That's an issue. Yeah, sorry, I mean non-repeat. It is. You can see it here. The base texture is like 5 on 5. So if I make it smaller like this, it doesn't move. With other ones like this one, for example, it does move with how long you have the sides. And now I want to see if I have something that looks a bit more like a bush. This one, for example, does. Then I just make it 2 by 2. Okay, it looks a bit weird because it's not actually 2 by 2. Okay, I copy in a few of them. Yeah, paste in a few of them, and then we just scatter them around a bit. Yeah, like that. Or does it look weird? It doesn't really look natural, does it? Yeah, no, I will just keep it in the greenhouse look. Yeah, the fresh green roof look. I don't want to delete any roads. I just want to remove bushes. Then I will put it in the screen style. So let me finish it. And finishing, I did, what a surprise. I changed the roof structure a little bit, and you can already see it. The first buses are in. One is even set to depart very soon. You can see how beautiful they are sitting there under their roof. So let me check. Yeah, 1 minute. Let's wait for that one, because I'm also interested to see how it looks when they are departing. So let me run down the clock. And then it is supposed to leave. There's a feeder line I set up. Okay, it looks a bit weird with the super tight turn that I may need to fix. But then it looks good enough. Yeah, I can put them on the outside. That may be better rather than the inside there on the 2 roads. Yeah, I've set up a feeder. That's what I wanted to say here. There are 2 of them. One is running from the VAG depot to the main station, and the other one is running from the main station to the depot. I set it up this way from the name so that they are always directly next to each other. XF for feeder, XD for depots. Yeah, and then the buses are running and skipping all the stations on their way to the main station. There we even have one of the night trains sitting in. It's waiting. I will speed it up a little bit because this one is also going onto the other feeder line. Oh my god, it's doing a super weird journey. Okay, that's why it was looking so weird in the schedule. Oh my god. Yeah, you're not supposed to see that. Try and error. I already know how to fix it with a switch like that. But I will fix that after the video. So yeah, today the depot is now finally done. There we also have the next bus. You can see how they are running in the white line to the main station, skipping the last waypoint, going into the line service then. And now I think there's just one more issue. No, I colored the buses the right way. So thank you so much for watching, even though it's still a bit chaotic, but the depot is done. It is set up, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I'm under half an hour today once again. And yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for that many. Oh my god, why is it going through the deep? Yay, the extra work to do. But I will do that off camera, so thank you so much for everything. I am really enjoying the new series, and the numbers are looking insanely good. So thank you for everything, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.